here's the thing, man. People get mad and they say things they don't mean. They do things they don't mean. I'm just really glad that it didn't go beyond where it went, because I was ready to fight. What are you doing?
Sick of these normal basic claps.
Oh, God. Oh, jeez. Oh! I was about to say, did you
good.
prick yourself?
I thought I caught some fiberglass, but I'm Gucci.
You just tore your freaking hand off, my guy.
Bro, you didn't hit the audio.
No, I didn't know. What? I'm trying to get stuff pulled up on the phone. This is research for the podcast, man. You're disrespecting the pod, dude.
Look, I say something right out of the gate.
Okay, please.
There's a lot of people that don't like this podcast.
I don't think there's a lot of people.
I just want to address it really quick.
You're on a roll, so just go.
If you don't like the podcast, there's a simple thing to do. Don't watch the podcast.
Oh.
Okay. That's all I wanted to say. Also, there's a lot of people. I got a comment on my channel that said, hope the podcast doesn't ruin your channel.
Who said? Somebody said that?
Yeah, somebody said that.
Why in the flying fuck would the podcast ruin your channel?
Oh, no. I returned. I said, you're...
No,
I didn't say anything. No, I just
Come
said...
closer, man. You're so far away.
Oh,
Come on in. You're fired up, man. Welcome back to another episode of Fishing After Dark, the podcast who is just ruffling feathers. I mean, people are upset. Badge is right. I don't think it's a lot of people. I think it's a couple people. There's a few creators.
Just all our subs.
No, our subs love this stuff, man. There's a few fans out there who don't like the podcast. There's a couple creators who don't like the podcast. But dude, we have had so many positive people. Oh, I just knocked my mic off.
It died.
Oh my God.
This thing dies too fast.
It does die too fast. Cut! Frick! That'll be a good transition. Why did you do that? All right, so our good friend Badge here just destroyed his chair. He just decided that he hated the podcast set.
I didn't mean to break that.
What are you sitting on?
Cooler.
You need to come closer. We're still too far
All
away,
right.
man. You got to come in. Get that god picture.
Dang it. I was hoping you wouldn't see it.
You tried to sneak it in there. Jesus. This podcast is off the rails already. We need to get things back on track here. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
So people are soft these days. It's fine. It's no big deal. We love you guys though. You guys are enjoying the podcast. I don't even know if I've said welcome back to another episode. I have no idea where we are right now. How you doing, buddy?
I'm good.
Long day of filming with me.
Right.
Cold as hell.
It was rough. I hate fishing this time of year. I don't hate it, but I hate it.
You look so uncomfortable sitting on top of that cooler right now.
I'm having a good time. I'm fine.
You sure? I brought a chair for you because you snapped the other one in half like a twig.
I'm all right.
Okay. Well, Holly will appreciate it. Those are our kitchen table chairs. Yeah, so if you have not done so already, you need to just go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Go ahead and we're on a mission here for 1 million subs this year. I think it's possible with an audience like you guys. So make sure you hit the red subscribe button below this video and enable the bell notifications. That way you guys do not miss one of these podcasts. It's ruffling so many feathers. But speaking of ruffled feathers, this is a great segue into our topic today. I don't know what got you so fired up in the intro, but ruffled feathers. People hate fishermen. Have you ever noticed that? Like your average Joe with the lake house or a house on a pond or whatever, he or she hates fishermen. Why is that? Why do people hate fishermen?
Dude, I will say I understand it to some degree because I had the privilege of my wife's grandparents owning a lake house for 2 years.
Okay, so you got a little lake house owner experience here.
And as a fisherman, like on a boat, I know you want to get up under that dock. That's
You got to get up in that dock.
If you're not up in that thing all the way, then what are you doing?
You got to get deep in that dock.
If you're not deep in the dock,
Wasting your time.
you're gone.
Yeah. Okay. Fair. Okay.
With that said, I understand the mentality. But my wife's out there sunbathing. We've talked about this before.
Yes, we have. You're okay. Yeah. What does that have to do with fishermen, though?
She's laying on her stomach, tanning. They're just flipping jigs. and my wife's cheeks.
That's not what happens.
It's not what happens, but in all seriousness,
Okay.
my wife's, laying out, and all of a sudden they're like trolling right up on my wife.
Yeah,
I'm
they're like spot locking on her.
skipping under.
Yeah.
She's like,
She's just trying to get a sun bath.
Right.
And they're just trying to catch a
jacking
hog.
fives. Right.
Yeah. Okay. So
Invasion of privacy. I understand that.
I do understand if a fisherman rolls up on your dock, right, in a boat, and crashes into your dock, grabs your freaking pole, his half-ounce jig is skipping off your dock,
right,
and nicking the freaking aluminum or whatever. I get that aspect of it, but even like somebody that's bank fishing, right, a couple kids or a couple young people or just whoever, it doesn't even matter who it is, people are walking around trying to fish a public pond that your house happens to be on. There's some situations that have occurred in the past that are not good, like people. I don't want to use the term, but I'm going to use it, like Karens, Karens and Kyles.
There it is.
They're everywhere, man. I mean, I've had experiences. You've had experiences. Some of our Guggen friends have had experiences. I'm sure some of you have had experiences. Please get in the comment section. Let us know your most horrible experience with a Karen or a Kyle or whoever who's trying to kick you out of a place for fishing. But let's start with you, man. What's your best Karen or Kyle story? Somebody that's just like kicking you out or being rude about it. It's not even so much getting kicked out. It's how people do it. Because a lot of people, they don't take the time to be polite. They're just like straight on, like, you can't be here. Get out of here now. You know what I mean? Like there's a certain way to do things. So give us your best story of somebody that wasn't considerate. They were pretty rude.
So I kind of have two Karens. They were Kyles actually in my life. One of them I had a ever-ending relationship with in high school. I lived on a golf course that was loaded with ponds. I ended up catching a couple sixes out of it. And that was before my channel. That was just for the love of the sport.
Right.
And he would always, like, high pursuit in golf carts because he lived on there, and he would come out, like, chasing me.
Oh, my God.
There it is.
Did he have like a little, like, a little police wheel?
And
light on top of the car?
It said,
get out of here.
It said Marshall on it.
Marshall of what?
The golf course. And then I came to find out after a couple years of our ongoing relationship that he was not even a marshal. He was just an old guy that was living large. But he was just chasing me off for no reason. He lived out there and didn't like bass fishermen because he thought it interfered with the golfers. But
now, see, that I kind of understand.
And I will say, living out there, we did mess with the golfers for sure.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you got golfers. They pay their membership dues, and they're members of the country club.
Yeah.
So, like, you don't want people in the fairway getting hit by a golf ball because they're trying to land a freaking fish. So, okay, I get that. Go ahead.
The other one, I didn't even sneak. So I got permission to fish inside of a resort. I go to the resort and I'm fishing, and this old guy, comes flying up in his Jeep Cherokee, like rolls up on the dock that we're on.
Anytime somebody's speeding up to you in a vehicle while you're fishing, that's never a good thing.
And then the old man power walk to you.
And power walks to you. And you're screwed.
Just silent.
Oh, jeez. What was his first words out of his mouth?
Son?
That's not good. That's not good.
Why are you fishing here? And I told him, I was like, I have permission, man. Yeah. And then he was like, yeah, the guy that gave you permission got fired 2 weeks ago for giving everybody permission to fish.
Oh, burn.
So I can roll the clip. Shout out to you, man.
What?
I can roll this clip if you want to see it.
Please, roll the clip. Let's take a look. Let's see what you guys think.
Enjoy. Rain. Well, we caught a fish, and it looks like we have some company coming in.
Guys, y'all can't fish over here.
Okay, not in this pond?
Not in any of them, except for the one where the boathouse is.
Okay. I made a deal 6 months ago with him. If I would come out and film in your fisheries, I would link his fishing program in my videos.
Yeah. Y'all have ID on you?
Yes. No, I don't think I have my wallet on me. I have my phone. I can show you the number and all.
No, that's okay. Yeah, got fired actually.
Oh dear.
Yeah. He was doing a lot of stuff he wasn't supposed to be. We'll give you one warning, but
okay.
Yeah. Just
Like I said, I went down to the shop and talked to him, but sounds like that wasn't the best guy to make the deal with.
no, did a lot of stuff. He was always pulling off deals and. All right, guys.
No, I'm sorry to bother you. Take it easy.
So yeah, that wasn't that bad. I mean, he was at least pretty nice. I'd say of all the people I've seen getting kicked out of places, he was pretty nice.
I don't know if you could call him a Kyle because he was in the right and I was in the wrong.
But you didn't really know you were in the wrong.
No,
because you had received permission previously.
Right.
And I think he kind of understood that, and he acted accordingly.
For sure. Probably saw my beard. I was bearded up. And I was super polite. One thing I've learned when dealing with Karens, if you're ever out fishing and somebody's just coming at you, just chill. Be nice,
Just
respectful.
chill. Be nice. Yeah. There's no sense of even arguing. It's just like, you're asking me to leave. Okay, I'll leave.
Yeah.
You know?
It's different if they pursue you.
Right. And you had already caught fish, so you had a pretty good little day, honestly, before
caught
that even
one,
happened.
Right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, there's different situations where people handle things poorly.
sometimes a Kyle can be much worse.
Yeah.
Kyle.
Absolutely.
I think you may have seen a worse Kyle in your day.
I have a pretty famous incident with myself kicking their bass TV fishing with Norm.
Okay.
And a Kyle, an older Kyle. How old was that guy? He's pretty young, right?
No, he was like 60s.
Oh, God.
Maybe
I didn't even
70s. He was
realize that.
retired, yeah.
Well, this guy was probably, I don't know. It doesn't even matter. He was a middle-aged Kyle. But, yeah, you know, we were fishing a pond. I would like to preface this by saying that we had subscribers reach out to us and tell us, because we were in Jacksonville fishing, had some subscribers reach out to us and specifically tell us to go fish here. And while we were there, before we even started fishing, we had a maintenance guy come up on a golf cart, right? And he was talking to us about fishing there and how there's huge bass there. And he was cool with it. And he left. So, like, every indication was that it was cool for us to fish there. So I'll just preface it with that. Watch it and you tell me what you think. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. There's a guy that works here that was on a golf cart.
Really, because I work here. I'm the facility manager here, and you're walking by that sign that says no fishing.
You didn't walk by that sign. You walked right down
Well,
right
there's
here.
a sign right there. And I'm telling you, you can't fish here, so you need to leave.
Okay, but yeah, but you just asked.
No, I'm questioning your integrity. What are you going to do?
If you are,
Yeah, but you asked who we talked to, and we told you who we talked to.
I'm the only person that matters here.
Well, how in the hell are we supposed to know that?
So if I walk through your neighborhood by your house and ask some guy if I can trespass in your yard, he says it's okay.
If there was a pond, I'd say fish it.
I know my
Jeez.
intentions here. I ain't trying to hurt anybody. And I want to
doesn't
be
matter.
respectful to you, but don't question my integrity.
Okay, well, I'm questioning your integrity. So
All
get
right,
off my
I'll get off.
No, because see, the story changed. You asked who we talked to. We talked to somebody on a golf cart. But how are we supposed to know that if we don't live here, man? Like, you're acting like we're supposed to know all this.
common sense says you just can't go on something.
Common sense would say, okay, common sense would say there's a guy on a golf cart. He works here. He comes up to us and say, hey, have you guys caught anything yet?
Yeah.
So then we think to ourselves,
No guy in a golf cart that works at the apartments are not
Jesus Christ.
associated here.
You think I'm just like making this stuff up?
The maintenance staff at the apartments are not associated with you.
How would I know that? Did I write the charter of the apartment?
That's why I'm letting
No.
you know.
Yeah, but you could have came up and just say, hey, guys, know anybody that lives here? Or, you know, like you came up with the wrong attitude, man. You act like you've kicked us out of here like 10 times, man.
Well, how do I know you're not the people that I kick out of here?
Listen, I don't even live here, dude.
We don't even live in this state.
You don't live here.
And I talked to somebody who was walking the fucking parking lot.
And a guy on a golf cart who we thought worked here. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Listen, I don't want to be rude, but if you come at me like that and question my fucking integrity, just shut your fucking mouth. Shut your fucking mouth.
If I lived on a pond, I'd say fish it.
I can slam your ass on the ground.
No.
Oh.
Oh.
Just shut your mouth.
Yeah, but I got an plate right here. You want to come look at it? Right. You're just pissed off if you were saying something and you were wrong. Now you got to pull your out and act like you're upside. Yeah, that's all you had to say. Like you could stop talking now, but you're still here. Like this is how confrontations happen. So you're pushing our buttons. There's 3 of us and 1 of you. Why don't you just walk away?
Come beat my ass for some fishing. Go to jail too on top of it.
Have you ever had your really good with kids? And I feel like you haven't, because if you had, you probably wouldn't be saying like this right now.
I'm just not scared of a bunch of kids who are smart enough.
I'm 32 years old, you dumb Army, infantry. Yeah, well that's what we're saying. You're the one that started the whole serious We were going to be nice. And overfishing, you decided to come over here and start cussing at us.
I never said a curse
We
word.
got the whole thing on video,
Bro,
you
listen.
idiot. The whole
This
thing's
is-
on
listen,
video.
listen,
You want to go back and watch the
Raising
video?
my voice. This is my problem, man. I asked you, don't question my integrity. You said, of course I'm gonna quit. That's your exact words. I got it on camera. Okay? I'm done with this. We can walk our separate ways, but don't question my integrity. That's one thing I don't roll by.
Bro, all I can say is don't talk about my integrity.
That was the biggest, I think, takeaway from that for anybody.
That's the most commented comment. That's the only reason I said that. Yeah, that was really funny though.
That
my
was
friend,
probably the most mad you've ever seen me, huh? 'Cause
except
I haven't been
for
that-
that time I was late to the boat ramp.
Oh God, I was ready to drown you that day.
Yeah.
Nobody even saw that. That's the funny part. Nobody really even saw that. Yeah, I mean, so this was a great situation. This was a great example of a situation that was handled poorly.
Terrible.
By him and us, me and Noah. We got heated. You know, he did kind of escalate it. The guy escalated it because he didn't just say leave. He was like, you guys saw the video. I mean, he was cursing. He wasn't trying to hear anything that we said. Because we were trying to explain to him, like, hey, you know, we had people telling us to come fish here. We saw a maintenance man. He didn't want to hear any of that. And, you know, the rest is history. But I feel bad the way I handled it because I got mad. Here's the thing, man. People get mad and they say things they don't mean. They do things they don't mean. I'm just really glad that it didn't go beyond where it went because I was ready to fight. Like I was that mad. Like I was ready to fight. And he kept like he followed us to our car.
That's weird.
Like he just and not only followed us, and he was chirping the whole time. Like, yeah, y'all better leave. Better get out of here. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up. I said we already said we were gonna leave. We're walking to our car. You know, like so now at this point he's just like pushing us, you know. Yeah, a human being can only be pushed so far. And we're all the 3 of us, we're pretty chill human beings. And we got pushed, but that's just even more of a reason why people, if you're ever confronted with somebody, just don't argue with them. Just leave, man. Just get the hell out of there. Unless you know you're in the right. Like if you have like written permission or something, or if like your grandpa lives on the lake, you know. But because it turns out that was like a quote unquote private pond, but we didn't know that. Like we were told by so many people we could fish there, and by maintenance people who told us we could fish there. So the intentions were good. You know, it's just that guy was either having a bad day or he was a Kyle on a power trip. He was the head of the homeowners association or something like that. Because we had a bunch of comments in the comment section of people who knew that guy, and they're like, "Yeah, he's a douche, man. He yells at everybody. You know, he's the head of the homeowners association." So, you know, it happened, and I'm not proud of it. That's probably one of my most shameful acts on YouTube. You know.
Yeah, LOJO did not want to bring this up, but I told him, I was like, look, I know that's not something you're proud of, but at the same time, as a male, as a guy, if you have somebody on you, no matter what situation you are in, if a guy is condescending to you and you're responding in a positive way and they're just coming at you,
Yeah.
like it's hard. And when they're trying to like puff their chest at you and be like,
Yeah,
you
he
know?
was. He was.
It was very obvious. You guys were going to your truck,
We had turned around and walking away,
and he pursued
following us really closely, and then talking smack the whole time. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
We always used to look back and say, that guy probably had a gun on him. You know what I mean?
Oh.
And see, in Florida, there's a stand your ground law. So, like,
Right.
if I had turned and tried to swing on the guy and he shot me, he'd have been in the right. You know what I mean?
God.
So yeah, so like there's no way to know that. That's why you should just walk away, because I probably could have kicked that dude's ass 6 ways from Sunday. But if he had a gun, guess what? It's over. You know what I mean?
But
like, that's why we don't do. That's why we don't do that. You know what I mean? It's just not. It's not worth it. But the three of us certainly regretted that, and I think we all addressed it afterwards.
And
but we regretted
ultimately,
it.
you guys, Noah, Norm, Lojo, you guys did leave. You didn't go physical. You maintained yourself in a heated situation, which
Yeah, I think so.
that's pretty cool.
And I think he got it at the end too. He was kind of backing off at the very end, because I think he realized that he was kind of poking the bear to an extent that was going to get everybody in a bad situation. So I think he realized it too.
Yeah.
And he said we were kids. And I was like, bro, I'm like 32 years old.
Yeah, you're like, dude, I'm in the army,
like,
bro.
shut your mouth, man. I was
Yeah.
in the army, dude. And that kind of, he'd kind of shut up after that. So I wonder,
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, give us your thoughts on that situation. But unfortunately, these are not the only two situations of people being asked to leave or kicked out, whatever the phrase you want to use. These are not the only ones. I mean, we could sit here and talk about a million, but we've chosen two more to just kind of like take us out of this video. The next one's our good friend Alex Perrick,
Oh,
who's just a sweet, sweet boy.
what a sweetheart.
He's a good guy. I love Alex. Perrick catches a lot of hell, and we've talked about this. He's probably, if there was a poll taken from every Guggen Squad fan of who was your least, or who was like the most hated Guggen member, he'd probably be up there. You know what I mean? And I don't know why that is, because I love Alex. I love hanging out with him. I've gotten pretty tight with him. I love him, you know. But he catches a lot of flack, man.
Yeah.
He catches a lot of it is just from, you know, the whole it's a 10-pounder thing. You know what I mean? When he
That's
freaked
what-
out on
I
John.
mean, heck, dude, I don't blame him. If you didn't grab a 10-pounder,
You'd have been pissed.
I'd have been like, whoa, like just
Yeah.
losing, livid.
Probably so.
Probably cut that clip out. I probably wouldn't have let it go out.
Probably. Be embarrassing.
Yeah.
So kudos to them for releasing that kind of stuff. But Alex found himself in a kind of a precarious situation. The only difference was him and somebody else. I'm not even sure who was on the boat. He was on a boat in a marina fishing, and a Karen was on him pretty quick, and she was not letting up. Let's run the clip.
Hey guys, you can't be fishing in the lagoons here. You gotta go out.
How's that? Is that a law?
What's that?
Is that the law?
No, it's because you're gonna attach to one of our boats.
But is
Or
it
it's
the
a
law?
liability. Well, no, you're not allowed to. I can call the police if you want me to. I'm asking you guys to leave though.
Well, I don't know. Any navigable waterway, I think, is
I'm
fishable
telling
water.
you gotta leave or we will call the cops.
Okay.
Because you're gonna attach yourself to a boat. That's damage on you guys.
Okay.
I just won't even respond.
What?
I just won't even
Hey, you
respond.
guys, I'm not kidding you. You guys gotta go.
Just don't even look at him. I don't know what. Some people just hate you fishing around marinas. There's such you can't own the water. That's the biggest deal. You can't own the water in Canada. You can't own the water in the U.S. And as long as you're respectful, you're not freaking hitting the boats with the docks and just being a complete numbnut, you should be fine. But that guy was a little much, just kind of a little aggressive.
You guys just decided not to listen, eh? That was gonna be. That's not gonna listen? Real mature, you guys. Good job. Good job.
But he's not happy.
Beef stew, bro. You guys stewing, and he's beefing. That's what I call. His name's Stu. Stuart. Stuart's coming. You know why? He likes to stew, and he likes beef. Good old Stu.
It's crazy if you just don't what I've learned when dealing with people that there's no reason to sit here and argue oh, there's a law that says you can't fish here. He's just well, I'm gonna call the cops, and then you just don't respond, and then they realize that they're in the wrong and they can't really do anything, and then they just leave. So it's just like, don't waste your breath on people like that. Just keep fishing. Just be respectful, you know? As long as you're good at casting, you're not hitting anybody's boats, nobody's gonna get mad at you.
Gentlemen, you can't be fishing in here, you gotta go. I can easily call the police on you right now.
Do I argue on this one? No. You wanna know what the issue is?
You can't fish here because your lines will get wrapped around people's rods and that's very expensive to fix. This is private property, you need to leave. You've been asked before already.
You can't own the water, ma'am.
This is a marina, this is a private marina. You can leave
Water.
right now.
You know how bad that'd be if you could own the water?
You're being
You know?
really immature, you need to get off our property now.
I'm sorry, it's just sad, you know? Such a beautiful
That you're
country.
not respecting people's property?
No, it's just sad that you
That's
think,
kind of sad.
it's just sad that you think that you own something. That's just a natural part.
This marina is private property.
This is water, ma'am.
People
Ma'am, this
live
is Lake
here,
Ontario,
they're in
ma'am.
People's homes. You need to go. I've had
This is
several
water.
complaints already. You need to go. My partner in the office already told you to leave too. So you can go.
I'm sorry. I'm
I
just
will
sorry
gladly-
that you think that you own the water. It's a beautiful
I'm sorry,
place.
you're very disrespectful.
Sorry you think that way, ma'am.
I don't know. This is just
It's
hilarious.
just hilarious. It's just, it'll be funny
I
when.
feel like a criminal fishing. I feel like a criminal fishing.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
I love Alex's response is like, he like starts off, he leads her to think he's apologizing, right? He's like, I'm really sorry that you think you own the water. Psych. Psych. That's great, man. I mean, so I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know. Like, she was saying it was a private marina, you know.
Is that a thing?
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm sure it's a thing, but is there like proper signage out in front of the marina? Is there I don't know, man. There's some weird laws out there. Me and you've talked about this. There's weird laws in place in different states. And that was in Lake Ontario.
Canada.
Is that even, was he in Canada or was he on the, I don't even know. I don't even know. Did no background research for this podcast, of course. Let's just say even whether he was in Canada or whether he was in Michigan or whatever, I don't know. I don't know where Lake Ontario is. I know it's part of it's got to be in Canada because Ontario's in Canada. But let's just say he was in a different country. I mean, there's laws that you may not even know are in existence. I mean, in America, pretty much he's right. Like, you can't own the water. Like, you have a dock, you have a piece of land that runs up to the water, but you can't own the water.
What about like a harbor? Like, people store boats, go in there. There's rows and rows of docks and houseboats and sailboats and crap. Like, I feel like when you get to a yacht area, like in the Great Lakes, if there's an area that yachts are parked on docks, I have a feeling they have the money to protect their boats from fishermen skipping jigs against them.
From skipping jigs against them, but maybe not fishing the water right next to them.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's the thing, man. I don't know. I would have to, you'd have to sit there and read the laws for every single, county, principality, city, anything like that. You'd have to research that. And when you're traveling all the time, that's one thing you probably should do, but a lot of people don't, and it slips through the cracks. I don't know. That was back in 2019, so we'll get Peric on the podcast one day. Maybe we'll ask him about like if he had done any research about laws or anything like that. But I mean, dude, this is America, man. Like, in America, you cannot own the water unless it's like a private pond or a private lake that is surrounded by your property. If it's a public lake and I end up in your private harbor or near it, I don't know, man. That's a tough call. I don't know.
That's weird. I don't know either.
Because like he said, you can't own the water. Imagine a situation where you literally own that part of the lake. That can't happen. That's not possible.
I'm curious, unless the government allows harbors to be a place of no fishing, which I would understand that, especially if there's houseboats.
I would totally understand that. And it all depends on the situation. That's why I love how he handled that, though. He never raised his voice. He was never really ugly. He was kind of a smart ass.
Yeah.
But that's what we all love about Peric. But I don't think he handled it bad.
It was
fine.
entertaining.
I think she was getting
loved
really
it.
frustrated with him, though.
It was fun to watch.
I love the northern accent, too. You have to go.
Yeah,
You have to go.
That's so cool to me because we're so freaking southern.
We're so southern. We don't.
I want to go up north and just hear him talk.
Well, I'd just be laughing the whole time.
Yeah.
I would have just been laughing when she was talking. I'm like, I'm sorry, man. I'm not laughing at what you're saying. It's just how you're saying it. Your accent's just cracking me up.
Yeah,
I know.
people probably think the same thing about us.
They do.
Especially
Yeah.
me.
Well, I don't have a southern accent. I'm from Florida.
Yeah, me neither.
Florida people don't really have like a discernible accent.
You just have a very straightforward.
I'm just chill as man. I'm just chilling. I don't have an accent.
Yeah, me
I'm
neither.
just here, man. I'm just on planet Earth, dude. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Dang. Wow. All right. Well,
That's deep.
let's go ahead and roll into this next one.
I know when I saw that video and I was like, I knew it.
Just keep your lips on this guy. Let's just blow the viewers' ears.
Headphone users are just like, God.
Yeah, I hate when people post that under a video. You just feel defeated because you spend hours on the audio. By hours, I mean a fat 10 minutes. And it's like, dang it.
Sorry, I blew your eardrums out, man. I'm sorry. I'm
sorry.
just figuring out this podcast thing. So as funny as all these situations have been, some of them are funny, some of them are kind of intense, and they're all just unnecessary. But I think our good friend Flair, I think he kind of owns the most famous or the most infamous confrontation on the water. I think. What are you laughing at?
You hit me with famous and infamous.
And infamous.
Yeah.
I'm just hitting you with the double whammy.
Like, wow.
Double whamboozles. I think Ike and Ellie's got a couple good ones, like a couple confrontations on the water. There's I'm just trying to think of like famous ones, but this is probably the most famous one.
Yeah, average Joe, not tournament. This isn't tournament.
Right. But even still, I think this would be like the most, because this guy like threatens him. This guy it's
Yeah.
crazy.
It's not
freaking
good.
wild. And when we get him on the podcast, maybe we could ask him about this too. But without further ado, let's play the clip and then we'll react to it. That's fucking good. God, it's so good. Every time I watch that video, that's like the best.
It's well edited. Like,
Flair went hard on him, man.
that's like,
What the?
the battery has just been weighing
Oh
me
my
down.
God.
That's like before fishing vlogs were a thing. So that took a
Yeah.
lot of creativity. That boy was crushing school projects. I can feel it.
That was pre-beefcake Flair too.
Oh, yeah.
Pre-beefcake.
That was
Thin boy,
Yeah.
skinny high school face Flair. He's probably like 19 years old in that video.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Flair. You may have been, I think, like 18 maybe, 19.
right. My dad showed me that video. I remember a couple, whenever that came out.
To show you how to respect anglers on the water.
No, he thought it was funny.
Respect.
When all those rappers go oh, my dad is a big fan of rappers going, oh.
That was a really hot clip at the time, so
Yeah.
perfectly placed. You don't own the water, bro. Oh.
Dude, if TikTok started
Oh my God! If that was a TikTok back then, 100 million views.
everywhere,
Wha-bam.
wha-bam.
Yeah, dude, Flair, that was epic, man. I'm so glad. Well, I'm not glad that happened to you, but I am glad that it happened because that was just.
He probably wouldn't be where he is today without it.
We're joking, of course, but I mean, we weren't there. That's what I always love to say. We weren't there. We didn't see exactly what happened, but it did look like Flair was just kind of fishing. The other boat was coming towards them, but when you're out on the lake, that looked like a small lake. A bunch of people trolling around each other. I mean, you can't, if a boat's coming at you, you can't just turn around and go the other way. You know what I mean? If you're wanting to fish a cove that boat's coming out of, you just you give them a little bit of a wide berth and you go in, they come out. And that's kind of what it looked like was happening. It didn't look like Flair was infringing on any of their fishing turf. You know what I mean?
There and with small lakes, you have a select area where fish will be at specific times of year, and you got to be competitive. You can't just sit there and be like, "Oh, well, there's people there." Or
Yeah,
you're
exactly.
not going to catch a fish.
Because there's always going to be people there.
Yeah.
There's always going to be people there. So you try to be respectful. You try to give people enough room, which it looked like to me he did. And this guy was just, there's certain people out on the water that literally think they own the water. They're out on their boat and they think, and I know this from a kayak angler perspective, There are boaters who literally think if they're out on the water, everybody else should yield to them and move out of their way. And of course, that's not what should happen. I mean, it's stupid. It's a public freaking lake. We can all fish it as long as I'm not pulling up on you or like cutting in front of you.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Yeah. Yeah. Like if somebody's working a bank and you yeet around them and start working that same bank, but he was coming and Flair was going.
It looked like there was like a center, like a standing timber of some sorts,
which everybody can hit. If there's standing timber, Flair was just as close to it as that other boat was.
Just on the other side of it.
Just on the other side.
It's like a wall between them.
So it's like just because you're coming towards the standing timber does not mean nobody can approach the standing timber from another direction. Like, that's just stupid. But
look, even if he was wrong, like even if he cut the guy off, that video was gold.
Well, yeah, but even still, like even after, let's just say he cut the guy off, which I don't think that's what happened, but even if he did, then the guy hung around afterwards and stayed near him just so he could talk shit.
Yeah, that's messed up.
And that's just, now that guy's taking it to like a childish level. Like Flair's sitting down, like rigging up another rig, and the guy's talking shit still.
Yeah.
That means that guy's just looking for a fight. He's just looking for somebody to yell at. He probably had a crappy day on the lake. Probably can't catch a damn thing. Flair's just there yoinking a jig out, a jig fish out, and the guy's just mad because he's a kid. He's a young, fresh-faced.
Young little beefcake just sticking sallies.
Beefcake Jr. just ripping some sallies out of that timber. I mean, I get it, man. I've had rough days on the water, but I think that guy was just mad. I think he was just looking for somebody to yell at.
Dude, you know what could be a funny video is if we were to act like we were Kyle's. Like just find a random dock that's for sale and go get on it and wait for like springtime and just...
Oh my God! Now you're playing some 4D chess on him right there, Badge.
Yeah, like we could, man. You know what I'm saying? Lapel mics 4. If you guys want to see that,
let us know if you want us to be Kyle's
instead of us receiving Kyle's. Let's be the
Kyle's, and then we can be like, oh, we're just joking, ha ha ha, it's funny.
No,
but don't actually fish here though.
Yeah,
actually, let's just buy the property and then just not allow people to fish there. Let's just wait for people to come and just yell at them.
Right.
Just hold another channel, just paintball guns, yelling Molotov cocktails into their boat.
Cast jigs into their boat after they hit your dock.
Exactly.
My bad. Dog.
Exactly. Yeah, so that pretty much wraps it up. I mean, there are certainly dozens, if not hundreds, of great video instances of Kyle's, Karen's, people getting kicked out, people being threatened. I seem to remember, and we could do a whole other podcast on this, but I seem to remember like a kid getting like threatened by like a cop or something, like an off-duty cop saying he was going to kill him or something.
Oh my! For fishing?
Yeah, fishing a pond. Now I don't know all the backstory. I just know that a cop comes, like an off-duty cop comes out and be like, I could just kill you and get away with it. It was something crazy. Anyways, but share with us your best Karen or Kyle story in the comment section, please, because there are some good ones out there that we've never even heard of because they weren't on video.
True.
So give us your best stories. Smash the old thumbs up button for Badge's story, my story, all the guys' story.
Everywhere.
Yeah, thummies, hit the thumbs up. Comment what you guys want to see on the podcast next. Remember, we're on the road to 1 million this year, so smash the subscribe button and the bell notification. That way you guys do not miss an upload. The podcast is growing. People are liking it. A few people are not. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's fine. It's not for everybody. We don't make this podcast for some creators that make them feel that I'm like speaking a different language. Makes them feel uncomfortable. I don't care. I don't care if it makes people or a couple people feel uncomfortable, But we're just going to talk about stuff that we want to talk about. I mean, I don't understand what the big deal is. So, I mean, you were fired up in the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking of other creators. I just thought it was weird that somebody was like, your channel is going to be ruined. I'm like, it's not my channel that'll get ruined. It's LOJO's, obviously.
Well, like nobody's channel is going to be ruined here because this is an awesome podcast. People love this. This is awesome, and we're going to keep doing it. It's going to make a few people uncomfortable because they don't like Guggen or they don't like us.
Or long form content, and that's fine.
Or long form content. You know, we're trying to make these a little shorter, more user friendly. But you know what? Sometimes we just get on a roll and we talk.
Like right now, we're extending this
We're
outro.
just like an hour and 58 minutes.
Let's just cut it right here.
Man, I don't even care. This is awesome, man. We're loving this. You guys are loving it too. The feedback has been tremendous. So we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep adding to the set, making it a little bit more visually appealing. We're going to keep having guests on here. We've already had one. Keep getting in that comment section telling us what guests you guys want to see. We're going to keep rolling out the freaking guests. It's going to be awesome. This is going to grow so much over the next however long we do this, which is going to be forever. So, yeah, you know.
Badge and the beard.
The beard and the badge. Badge and the beard.
Beard and the badge. We're
Whatever.
at this mug.
Fishing After Dark. Beard and the Badge. Volume. Whatever this is. Love you guys. We out.